Hey guys, just recording this, getting ready for Las Vegas, and basically listened to Jerry T talk on his podcast about beating Hodak, um, having mainboard rest in peace. So I made a list kind of by his discussion, and there's some missing things here because I've already played. I forward won a match league, and basically this is my list. The only thing that's missing here is one of those new fetch lands that just gets a basic. Forget the name right now. So I added that in here. I have Blast Zone, 3 Celestial Colonnades, Field of Ruin, basically all your regular matchup stuff. You have 1 house, 3 paths, or 4 paths. We have the Ops, and that's because that's a standard now, and Spell Snare. Again, we have 3 Rest in Peace, and I went with 2 Mana Leaks because I thought Loginox's ridiculous if you're running um, Rest in Peace anyway, main board, and I'm not a big fan of Logic Knot. So here's our 2 mentors, which are the VIP of this deck, basically. Besides Rest in Peace, the mentors are just amazing. And then we, run the 1 timely, kind of all the basic stuff that you would find in the regular blue white, but just a little bit changed. 2 Force Negations, 2 Narsets, 1 Detention Fear, 2 Teferis, Time Reveler, and then we have a hieroglyphic illumination. And the reason why you want this card is because it has the ability to cycle. So now you have 5 cards that are able to terminus on your opponent's turn, which is very key. I think a lot of people have never really played with terminus in Legacy, so you basically want to draw a card during your opponent's turn and then miracle terminus. So you're not doing it during your turn, but you can also miracle during your turn. So, and as we're going through the list, also late game it draws you 2 cards, which could be important. I like draw card engines. This runs 3 Jaces and 3 Cryptics. Jace also to put Terminus back on top of your library by Brainstorm. Very key. I like Blasting Zone. This was supposed to run two more fetch lands. I think I saw a list running 25 lands, but I think most blue whites run 24 is fine. I cut a fetch for Blast Zone, and then I cut an island to add another fetch land back into the deck because we're down to 24 lands. And Blast Zone is, if you never played it, it comes in and is amazing. It hits hard in scales. It hits a lot of like the creature matchups. It's just an amazing card because this deck is so tight in room that we don't have room for engineered explosives, which I actually really like. So that's kind of our main board engineer explosives. And then we have 1 Teferi, which actually 1 Teferi always seems to be that one clutch card that you really just need, and it always seems to work. You always seem to use it most time. And 3 Terminus. Of course, you see all these little kind of construction tape all around these cards. It's because I don't own them because they're so expensive on Magic Online that I rent those cards. Going to the sideboard, in my league, I had a Wrath of God, and I was thinking to myself, like, I should just run Supreme Verdict. So, because of Mirror Match and possible mentors is becoming a bigger thing. The only thing that's missing here is, I believe, what are we missing that I added? There's one card here missing that we'll get to that in a minute. But most of this is like 1 ceremony rejection of a lot of Tron surgicals, 2 special purges, 2 stony science, which hits Tron, hits hardened scales, hits the Esper. Forget the name of that. The Esper deck that basically uses making tokens and the new kind of Urza's whatever her name is. Anyway, Dispensable Stroke, Snapcasters. So you just need to run 2 in the sideboard, and so those are matchups where you take the Rest in Peace out, and then you bring in the Snapcasters in. Timely Reinforcement, Supreme Verdict, and Baneslayer Angel. So basically, this is pretty much it. Minus, I think, 1 card. So let me take a look at that. I have this on tap out. Apologize. But let's make sure we get all the cards in here because I don't want to do this again. Oh, okay. So what I came up with is that this was a Vidillion click spot for the 5th card, or I mean the 15th card, but Monetary Mentor was so good and won me so many of the games that, and I'm not a big fan of click anymore, just especially with this crazy aggro matchup that we have here in Hodak, that I just think it doesn't really have a spot right now. I mean, especially in this deck. So the 15th card is another mentor. A third mentor comes in most matchups, and so anyway, so this wraps up for this video. I will be posting. Basically, I didn't pre-record my that the 4-1, but I going to go through Magic Online and show you the gameplays, and basically the only thing I lost to was an absurd goblin deck that sacked their goblins to they gain life and lose life, and a couple of the games was very close to like setting up Terminus, and he just went off and just killed me out of nowhere. But blue-white has always had a hard time with goblins, so that's that. So I hope you enjoyed the matchups. This is pretty much close to what I'm going to be playing in Vegas. I think this is a great way to combat a lot of the metagame.